Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on their road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? It is Ricky Venters and Marlon Madden, and we are back with you for another episode of the Success Journey Show. What's going on? What's going on? Marlon, how you doing today, bro?
Oh man, living the dream. It's pretty good. What's funny is that now we're embarking on this us showing our face on screen more often.
Right?
End of the season, but you know, much needed. It's going to be a little different. People seeing us every week, vice just hearing our voice, I think.
Absolutely, man, and different for me too, man. Seeing your face, man, rather than just hearing your voice. It's travelers, man. Boy, we finally got some things set up on both of our ends to mainly my end to do some video recording of our podcast. So yeah, we are up and running, and we're just excited to be able to just add to the whole experience that we've had with you guys over the last year and a half. So yeah, new things are coming, man.
Yeah, the only thing I'm kind of envious, I know people are going to see this and they're going to see your quality over there versus my quality. So
it's all good, man.
I'm gonna have to step up on my end too with this quality, man, because I thought I was good.
Yeah,
I saw your face and I was like, dang, this boy looked like he's on some CBS, CNN.
Yeah. Trust me, man. When I found out, man, I wasn't going back to work until January. I said, well, how can I make this experience the best experience for me? Because, everyone's laptop, you got the little webcam. That thing everything's all blurry and everything. And, I still want that experience. And I had this digital camera sitting around my house. And I was like, you know what, man, might as well just learn how to plug this thing up and use it. I've been wanting to do it for years. And that COVID was my excuse. So, yeah. The camera I was going to throw away,
Oh, wow.
Here it is right here.
Wow. Hey, never throw it that old.
Exactly. So, man, like you mentioned, man, we're at the end of a season. Man, this has been an amazing season. We've had some amazing guests come on the show. And we always like to just, before we close out the season and, disappear for a couple of weeks. We're not completely disappear, but, not have any new episodes for the next couple of weeks. We always like to touch bases and just let you know where we are in our lives and, some things that are going on our end. This is a lot of things going on in the world right now.
Correct.
And we didn't want to end the season without at least have an opportunity to talk about those and touch on those topics. So we'll talk about those a little bit today and just share what may be coming up next for us for the Success Journey Show. And just everything that goes with it. So, yeah, Marlon, man. So, hey, let's catch everybody up with first just we're home now, I'll put it this way, I was having a conversation with someone last night and, they're trying to put a panel discussion together for some people and, and it was asking about different tips and what they can do and what they can talk about. And I said, well, what would be really good is that over this last 6 months, people have gone through a series of emotions, right?
Yes.
You started off 6 months ago with saying, hey, new year, new me, going into 2020, everyone, this is the year for everyone.
This is the prophetic year.
Yeah, it's prophetic year, right? all that stuff, And then now, all of a sudden it turned into a worldwide pandemic, you know? And then now, the issues of race that are at hand right now that we're dealing with in our country now. So it's like all these emotions and all these events that are going on, man. Like, what are some things that have been going on in your head, man? And how have you been processing just this first 6 months of 2020?
Yeah, just like you said, New Year. Of course, you and I, we don't do that New Year resolution thing. Right? Yeah. We did our episode that's called about resolution. We're just talking about, hey, start whenever you have the opportunity because tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
So if you want to start something, you start it today. So we're going into the new year with especially with our show being 1 year old and everything like that. We had a lot of things we wanted to ramp up. We want to do a little bit more traveling.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to think of the words of traveling, doing some shows at some different venues that we thought was going to be very enlightening to people. Like we had a worker space that we wanted to go to and have those guys explain how they, you know, the how everybody's kind of moving into that movement with the worker space, everybody's sharing the workspaces and stuff like that. So we workspace. So we, you know, we had a lot of things that we had planned that this actually, the COVID had to have us revamp.
Yeah.
Then what I really liked about what we did, one thing that worked in our mind is that once we put our mind to something, you and I know we can do it, because COVID came in and our show is based on success journey show. And we talk about people and them just taking the opportunities they have and just making it a success. We didn't want to define success as everybody knows, but we saw how we were able to pivot on the fly and talk to the people that we're kind of doing like a journalistic work.
Yeah.
Because we went and we talked to people that were actually on all different gamuts of the COVID.
Yeah.
So we had people that were actually 1 year, they only been a nurse 1 year, but they're thrown right in the trenches. We had somebody that they were actually a nurse practitioner, but they had the COVID, almost died. We had guys that were pharmaceutical and now they're a nurse. They're working in New York. We had guys that almost died that were novice to any kind of medical help, but because of an ailment they had back in the day, saved his life. So we even went all the way to England and talked to somebody that had COVID that was tied into the Prime Minister of Canada and Idris Elba. So we did a lot of journalistic work that I was really proud of, that on the fly we were able to make some phone calls and make some contacts. And while we were trying to settle in, for me, being in the military, I was already settled in with just, I'm going to be at home. It's kind of like a deployment. I'm in Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever deployment, and I'm just going to be in a place that I'm not going to be able to move around as freely as I want to. In my mind, it wasn't affecting. But then, just looking how people were reacting to a 2 months lockdown, not just a 2 month lockdown, but a 2 month lockdown, was really surprising to me. How the mental capacity that I think people have, or the intestinal fortitude, or the strength, the mental strength that they have, I'm just like, wow, people are breaking. Like, I saw friends that I have that, like, we're military, they're like, yo, pray for me, like COVID's getting me, you know? So that was going through my mind. And then all of a sudden become the race situation. Now, it's been in America for a while. It's not like it's been hiding, but because of social media and cameras, it's more, you can see it, it's more prevalent.
Correct.
For me, it's twofold, because, you know, I'm an immigrant. And what I like to tell a lot of the immigrants is that we don't understand the plight of the African-American in, you know, that's born and raised in America, because of the fact of, like, your dad is, like you said, your dad is born, I don't know if I could put his date out there, but he's born in the 50s, right?
60s.
So in the 60s, in the 60s, civil rights is going on. Martin Luther King is still doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's, you're one generation removed from, your mother probably, I think, had to be
busting
into
segregated classroom,
right? So we can't, as a Jamaican coming from Jamaica, where the prime minister is black, the business owners are black, we had freedom from England or whatever the situation is. It's a lot of different with the dynamics over here, and then you get to see everybody's different viewpoint.
Correct.
No matter if you're from the spectrum gamut, from all the way from an Asian to a white person to a person from Honduras, you're getting to see everybody, because everybody's on social media.
Correct.
And you're able to take that information in, and sometimes it'll change your way of thinking, and then sometimes it'll reinforce that people don't actually get what's really going on.
Yeah. No, you're so right, man. And just to go off of that, and just how, same thing with me. I definitely echo your thoughts on this, the beginning of the year and everything that we had going on, and then this whole COVID thing hit, and you know, it definitely changed things in our household a lot. You know, the kids being home. I mean, my wife used to homeschool, so that part wasn't too unfamiliar. But the unfamiliar part of it was that, you know, she's working full time as well. So now it's like, all right, how do I manage homeschooling and doing full-time job? Now I have to step in and help out, you know, whatever way I can. I gotta give her credit, because she pretty much ran with all that. I didn't have to do much on my end, just more so be the enforcer. You know what I mean? I was the principal, you know. I got to play the principal.
The dean.
Yeah, the dean. Yeah, they called me. What was that guy on Lean on Me, Mr. Carson, something like that.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. You're going into the bathroom, making them sing songs.
Yeah. So I got to play that role. I get to play that role. And it's just a lot for the kids to digest and understand what's going on and explaining it to them. So you're explaining just the change in the world that we see through a pandemic, and trying to get them to understand the new reality that we live in, and trying to be healthy and safe and all these different things. Explaining why I'm home every day, why mommy's home every day, and why they're home every day. My oldest son graduated elementary school this year. So, him not being able to, really fully go through that experience. They sent him a certificate, and here's your completion of your 5th grade. And he was like, oh man, this feels so empty. And I was just like, oh man, So it's just like, all those different things. And then you turn around and, like you said, this is not anything that's new for any of us that have experienced this. Just the whole race and the things that African Americans have gone through in this country, and personally myself, and so we explain it to them. But then when they're able to see it a little bit more, and I believe COVID helped in the sense that everyone's home. Everyone's on social media.
Real different situation. Yours, right?
Yeah, so everyone is like, they're looking for something to do. And now this pops off again. They're like, oh, wait a minute. They got our full attention now. Let's all go out and raise awareness on this thing, And so, which is good, but at the same time now it's like, okay, now that there's more of awareness of people all around the world, of all races that recognize and see what's going on, and really seeing, okay, how can change be made, and first really identifying that the change needs to be made, because some people still don't believe that there's a change that needs to be made. But then going from there and saying, okay, how do we come about making change to impact this, society and this race that is here in America? So yeah, man, it's a lot of emotions, man. And my wife, the other day, she was like, oh man, let's watch a movie. I said, what movie you want to watch? And it's like, I want to watch a movie, just like a documentary or something more about race and what happened in the past. And let's watch Rosewood. I'm like, damn, that's not a movie I really want to watch right now. Yeah. But you watch it and it's like, man, same stuff going on, man.
Same stuff going. Imagine your kids my daughter is 4 years old. My youngest is 4 years old, and she's going to be able to say, I went through a protest. She didn't actively go out there, but she lived through a time when there was protests, uprising in America for equality. And that's why I tell people, it's not that we're fighting to be superior. All we want is equality. That's it. That equality is fair across the board. If I go into a boardroom and I would have the qualifications, I can get the job just like if somebody else went into the boardroom and competing for the same job. It's just equality.
Correct. And yeah. But it's tough, man. It's tough because, and it's be, real transparent with our listeners and our viewers, equality is hard when both sides don't see the value, or one side doesn't see the value in the other, but they think that they do, But, a lot of times value is painted as, if you look more like me in your actions and what you do, then I can consider that being equal. But if you don't look like me and do things that I do, then how can I, tag equality to that? It's the reality of it, and it's like, how do we get the minds changed? And I believe a lot more people now see that, which is very, it was very warming to my heart, man. The amount of people that have reached out to me, neighbors and friends that are white, and that I worked with, that I grew up with, and it's just, for them to show their sign of support, through all of this, not only because of, I'm a Black man, but of what I represent as an individual. You know, it's like, Rick, man, we really support you, and not only support you, but I want to learn more about what it is that you guys have been going through. Yeah.
Oh, before I get to my next point, man, you know, it was funny yesterday. My son and I went fishing.
Yeah.
And we went to Walmart and we're getting some Gatorade and some stuff to take. You know, when you get out there, it gets kind of hot to drink, right?
Yeah.
And my son had to remind me, wow, Dad, this is the first time I've been out the house in a car since COVID.
Oh, wow.
And it never dawned on me. I was like, so how does it feel? And he was just like, yeah, everything seems new. And it's like an experience. It's crazy. But so that right there was kind of eye-opening.
Wow, man. That's why he was excited about the donuts yesterday.
Yeah, you all, that man. So they don't really eat donuts. This guy, Dunkin' Donuts now is like his new place. He's like, donuts. I had him had one donut. And this guy's like, donuts?
Yeah.
You invented this. Did you do it? I almost wanted to tell me yesterday. You know?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, man.
But on to the point is, you know, it's very, some people are basing what's going on when they look at you being an engineer working at Johns Hopkins. Mm-hmm. They're probably saying, what is Ricky gonna say there's no equality? He's he's an engineer, Johns Hopkins. He has a house, has his 3 boys. His wife is also a counselor in the education system. They go into a store, they buy what they want, they come out. Why is Ricky saying that it's not equal, right? So to people like that, like you're saying, people that's reaching out, I think they're genuinely trying to find out what's the thought process of somebody like yourself that you know, hey, he's very successful. How does he view this? And I think it's up to us, the people that they view as successful, to tell them the reasons why we think there's no equality, and not just come off as, you know, there's a time and place for everything. And sometimes a soft answer turneth away wrath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because that is a, you know, you do have people that have mentioned that before, and, you know, in the last couple of weeks, and, you know, you sit down and you think about it. And so I would say this, my parents, you know, knowing what they went through growing up, and the society they grew up, they really sheltered us from a lot of it, to where I'm not saying it wasn't happening, but I didn't see it. Maybe I was too young to understand what was happening.
Yeah.
And now that I look back, I'm like, oh, that's what was going on. That's why my mom responded that way. That's why my mom was called like that, you know. And that's why she always pushed us to be the best. That's why she always pushed us to say, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, you know. And so they did a good job on that end to allow us to grow into it, without it being something that was just hovering over our head the whole time, right? And in that, but if I look back at some situations, man, I mean, almost every area of my life where that fueled me, that fueled my drive, came from a place of where I thought I had to prove myself because of who I was. You know, being an African American man, or a boy, you know, it was like, oh man, you're never going to exceed in mathematics. Like, why me? Like, why not anybody else in the classroom? No, you're. And I'm the only little black boy there, and instead of being there to give me more help, it was more so of a write-off, you know. And I remember that, and it was like, okay, well, she said I won't be able to be something, then I'm going to give everything I have to be it, you know. And that kind of fueled me on my journey and doing what I do now, and just the engineering space and beyond, and, you know, just different places. And I must say that, you know, I've been blessed to be around people that are white, that are very encouraging, they're very uplifting, that they are very like, hey, you know, we look at you for who you are, you know. But at the same time, even though they look at me for who I am, there are moments where their colleagues or counterparts or whatever it may be that they're associated with may not see or have that perspective. So I still have to prove myself in that sense. Correct. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that I had moments where people just been downright just, called me out and called me a nigger and all this kind of stuff. I personally haven't had that.
Yeah.
But I definitely had felt the pressure of, hey, I need to prove myself even more than the guy right next to me that has the same qualifications as me. Why? Because the image that when they see me, all the stigma that comes with that, and that's when they see me, like, oh man, you dress different. Oh man, you dress well. Oh man, it's like, for a reason.
For a reason.
So.
But how do you, because, we don't dress as thugs, Rick.
No.
Not gonna say thug. I hate that word, to say thug. I shouldn't, let me get off of that. We don't dress a particular kind of way. We intentionally dress a certain way, right? When I was younger, I did dress a certain type of way. Got older, I dressed a certain type of way, right? You know me. Yeah. You do rags and all that stuff.
Oh, we got to talk about that. Remember when we went to Canada?
Yeah.
We got pulled over in search?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. So just think about me walking down the street. I don't wear super baggy pants. Nobody's wearing baggy pants nowadays, so it doesn't make sense. Baggy pants. Nobody wear baggy pants. The young kids are down.
Yeah. But the pants are on your behind,
right? But my pants are on my behind. My shirts. I have a nice thing. I'm clean cut, and yet still somebody will see me and still clutch their purse or kind of, you go into the elevator and they'll still do the shift to one side, right? And I'm like, is that built in you to do that, or what is that? Because I'm not presenting anything of a negative connotation to you. I'm not being negative. How are you taking my presence as just being negative?
As a threat. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So that sometimes can tick me off, meaning that I'm like, I am not. I'll tell you a story. So in Temecula, I was in Temecula, California, and I don't know if you saw the story what happened to the mayor in Temecula.
No, I didn't see.
He had to resign. It's a lot of people are losing their jobs just by. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm running. I'm running, and while I'm running, a couple's coming. So I'm jogging. I have my my headphones on. I look like a jogger.
Yeah.
So I'm in Temecula, in California. The sidewalks are super large. So I moved to one side to be, courteous, to say, hey, you guys are coming down here. The wife, when I came up, the husband started running. The wife stopped, and the fright in her face, she just like froze.
Oh wow!
And the husband had to turn around and grab her and say, "Come on!" And I started to laugh because in my head, and I laughed out loud while I was listening to my music run. I'm laughing. I'm like, what would possess you? Think what am I gonna do? I'm a jogger. I look like a jogger.
Yeah.
What came in your head to think there was a threat there immediately in a place where I can tell you can look up Temecula, 98%. Since 19, I always use this I always throw this out there. I live in an era where since 1989, there hadn't been the crime rate is down to like 1-2%. It's 2% crime.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you live in this. So to me, it's kind of, we have to educate to say, listen, not because not everybody falls into a same mold. There's no please don't stereotype us, and that's why I want us not to stereotype the other side too.
Correct. Absolutely.
Because if we don't want to be stereotyped, we're not supposed to stereotype and take everybody for what they say face value until they present the kind of person they are.
Absolutely. And that's why I think it's a beautiful thing, man, what we're seeing now in terms of the protest and, just the amount of different people that are out there, that are supporting the cause of equality in the name of Black Lives Matter. And I know people have their thing, all lives matter. Yeah, no one said they didn't. It's just a matter of this is the issue that's at hand. I don't know if people can't get that, but that's not. I don't
understand that concept. Like,
yeah,
When my foot is hurting, I don't go to my son and say, all body parts matter. I don't care about your foot right now.
Yeah.
Your foot is the one that's feeling the ailment.
Exactly.
So attend to your foot, not your hand. Yes, all your body parts matter.
Yeah.
But right now,
I like that analogy, man. You go into the gym, right? You're working out biceps. How would you look? If you're a person there, right? Yeah, man, we want to work out biceps today. You're doing all exercises, biceps. And the person that you're training would start getting frustrated, like, but all body parts matter.
Right?
Like, dude, today we're doing biceps. Today we're working on our biceps. We can work on our triceps. We can work on our legs, our quads. We can do that on Tuesday. But today we're going to work on biceps. We didn't say just because we're working on biceps today that my calves don't matter or my chest doesn't matter. It's just saying today we're going to focus on the biceps.
I don't understand how that concept is flooring people.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Yeah. But it's hey, listen, everyone has their right, and that's why there are people out there protesting, because everyone has their right. And some people say, hey, I don't condone the protesting and the rioting. Listen, I don't condone, going and vandalizing or destroying anyone's property. Yeah. But I do know that, you can ask yourself the question, looking from both sides, when is enough enough? Yeah. And people say, oh, well, they blew their chance of their platform. It can be a beautiful thing. There's been so many platforms. It's been going on for 200, 300 years. This is not something new for this community.
Correct.
And so what I want to do is not necessarily just harp on that aspect of it. I know a lot of people have their opinion on it and what they're doing with it, and that's cool, But at the end of the day, as us being both Black men, and what we represent in this world, not only the world, in our household, what are ways that we're looking to change or build legacies, for our families and our community. And we can share just a little bit about that, with the people and our listeners that are here with us.
So for me, Rick, I honestly believe that phase 2, this phase 1, and we could even include Martin Luther King, all those greats, into Malcolm X, everybody into phase 1. Because I think right now the realization that everybody's getting is different from the past. Because now, like you said, there's a lot more multicultural in the effort of the equality for all persons, right?
Yep.
But the phase 2, I think the phase 2 is going to have to be attacked with the same energy, meaning you know how everything is. When your team wins, I'm happy that the Golden State lost, and I'm cheering for my team. I wasn't my team, but I'm just giving an analogy. I'm cheering for the Toronto, but 2 months later, nobody really cares about they're like, oh, I'm a Toronto fan, but they're not as that zeal. To drive around the block with their banner is not there. So what keeps that zeal, or what keeps us focused, is a plan.
Yeah. And
like you said, in our household and in our space, because I've come to realization that we cannot affect the whole world in one day, or you're gonna get frustrated. You have to with your immediate space. And for me, and that's why I like the Bible says, how can two walk lest they agree?
Yeah.
We have to start to bring people in our circle, or if you're gonna be in our circle, immediate circle, we're gonna have to start cultivating some actions that's gonna make us successful. We can't just only talk about being successful. We have to exemplify things that will make you successful.
Correct.
Our finances. So I think our finances is one of the big things that you and I talk about it all the time. Not just being able to say I make $150,000 a year, but how is that going to turn into generational wealth for your kids, for your kids' kids, for your kids' kids, right? And I think those are some of the plans that you and I have been doing before this whole thing started.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not bandwagoners, because a lot of people now, I've seen a lot of people hitting me up talking about, like, oh man, we need to do this as a community. We've been doing this, the real estate thing. We've been trying to lock down how to make real estate work for us. You on the other side with the inventions and Hit Doctor.
Yeah.
And just even making a opportunity for your kids.
Correct.
making a clear-cut road to say, hey, these are some of the opportunities we're putting in place that you could take advantage of. Just like you said, your parents had to go through a certain kind of struggle and they prepared you to go to the next level. Now we have to take our kids to the next level where we're not talking about, them only doing mediocre jobs. And I'm not disrespecting anybody that has to fall into that place, but we don't want to have our kids in a place where they're just barely making it.
Correct. Because then what's that going to do for the generations and generations after them? Right. You got to be able to build, man. You got to be able to. Intentional. Yeah, exactly. And if you're not, like I was telling another person, I was like, he was, I don't like just relaxing, not doing anything. And some people can look at it as a problem and like, oh man, you got to take time to relax and everything. But for me, it's like, I'm that type of person where if I know I'm on a road to a destination, I want to get there, right? Yes. And I don't want to be sitting here prime example, driving from Maryland down to Florida, right? Yeah. I know the directions. I know where I'm getting there. I'm in my car. I know that, the sooner I get there, I'll be able to enjoy myself. Correct. Yeah, right. Yeah, there may be some things along the journey that you can, enjoy or whatever. But that this is what you're going after, getting down to Florida. So for me, I'm going to drive as long as I can to get to that point, right? Correct. If I need to rest it a little bit, get a little rest, all right, I get a little rest. But I'm not staying at a week time frame in Tennessee. I'm not staying for a week time frame in North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, whatever, Georgia. Yeah. I'm not staying there for that because my destination is to go to Florida, and that's what I'm planning to do. So my resting may come to, all right, taking a quick nap here, taking a nap there, but I'm going to try to get there as fast as I possibly can so I can really enjoy what I'm doing. And then if I want to go back and visit and take my time to go to other stuff, then I'll do that, right? So I look at that in my life. It's like I have goals and they're clear in front of me, like what I want to do, what I want to achieve. Yeah. And I feel that I'm getting there. So if I'm just sitting down and I'm just watching something, I'm just not doing anything, of course there's some downtime, but I just feel so like, if I just dedicated, instead of watching an hour of a show, watching an hour of a YouTube clip that's going to teach me how to manage my business better, I would rather watch that correct. Than watch the show. Correct. Because it's entertaining, one, it's something that I enjoy doing, and I'm not losing time. It's getting me closer to my destination. Correct. So people are like, oh man, you need to relax more. I'm like, I do relax. I relax by doing these things. That's your relaxation. That's my relaxation. Because I know I have a goal in mind. So I mean, everyone does theirs differently. Some people, they need to completely break away, and I do that sometimes too. Sometimes I take a day off, but my day is purposeful. I purposely say I'm not doing something to get my brain rest. I'm not doing something because I want to need full power to go in and tackle this or tackle that or this space. So it's intentional. It's not just like, I get it one day. I don't feel like doing it today. I'm not doing it today. So it's just the way I move. And I'm glad you mentioned the whole thing about what we've been working on in the past, because this is not new to us. And people come and say, we got to be able to tan, we got to do this, we got to do that. And one of my closest friends, we actually did a podcast together a few years ago called the STEM Dialogue. And it was really focused on minorities in the field of engineering and exposing young people, students to engineering and STEM and things of that nature. And we had put together a program called Inventors, a wordplay off of my last name. And we had them work on a project. And while all this is going on, and you guys see you don't know, my office is completely newly renovated here. Oh, it looks good too. I got the pictures on the wall. I got the that's Hit Doctor, one of my companies. We got the Success Journey show over there. On top, in the middle, is Inventors, and I haven't really talked about this on the podcast, but what it was. Get my focus back here. Where we at? Come on, focus on me now, not the photos. There we go. There we go.
Hey, it did what it was told. You told us to focus on the pictures. That's what it did.
Yeah, right. So So my boy, we were talking, was like just catching up, seeing how everything was going. And he's like, Rick, man, you wouldn't believe what I came across. I was like, what? He said, I told him I came across a poster that we had did with the students. And he was like, Rick, you wouldn't believe him. I came across it too in my email. I was like, you have it in digital? I didn't have it in digital. I just had a hard copy.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I got it in digital. So this is what I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what he sent me.
Ricky technology up there. Golly. Oh wow, I like that.
So this is what we developed, man, with these kids. And what it was a center. We called it the Inventor Center. And, had all these different, the students went through all the different needs they would want in their community, and, what they would want to do, and things to take part of, recreation, gardening, and fitness, and technology, and swimming, and exercising, all these different things. And, I've always had it, for the last 4 years. And I'm like, when I pulled it out before a lot of this uprising and everyone protesting, I was like, yo, this right here is my goal. This is my vision right here. This is everything that I've been trying to do and go after. And so I decided to frame it and put it on my wall this time, so that it's always a constant reminder in front of me that one day this is what I need to have, not for me, but for the community that I'm serving, and giving back to the community. So I know I can share my experiences with the minorities that are coming behind me, the African-American boys that are coming behind me, not just my own sons, and the girls that are coming behind me, and sharing with them just the wealth of technologies, and just being in great environments, things of that nature, So, man, we've been moving on this thing. And listen, it's like, the thing that gets me so excited is that I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to take place. But I'm so excited for the fact that I know it's going to happen.
Yep, it's going to happen.
So it's just about just keep moving and keep doing and keep building. Myself, Marlon said finances is a huge thing, because if we're not in a good financial place, there's no way we can help somebody. Man, my perspective changed on that so much when you start seeing even small companies that are struggling to do well, minority companies, but they don't have financing, and it's like they're only limited in what they're able to do, And it's like, man, you've got to have a financial structure. So how can I get myself financially stable? How can I leverage opportunities and build so that I can turn around and really help the community that my heart is after? So,
man, yeah. I love that, and all that started years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just now we're thinking about our community and growing our community and showing everyone that, this is what a community could look like if you accept and just give the opportunity. Now, I love the analogy that you used with the driving to Florida. What would help that drive, or you get to your destination faster, is if you put people in the car that's willing to take over.
Yes.
When you want to rest, instead of you stopping to rest, that person says, hey, I'll take the driver's seat. You go ahead, go to the back seats and sit down and rest. And then the other person will shift, and then they keep on rotating. So to me, it's going to take a collective effort to get to your destination. And that's what we have. That's the thing that us as a community got to shape, that I just don't want to do it myself. Just let everybody know that Marlon was the person that built that community center. I might have to get 7 other people that have the same vision that we'll get to that community center in whenever we get to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the portion that right now, with this phase 1 that's happening, in phase 2, I want to see a lot more people work together to reach their goal. Because you talked about finance, but if I have $1,000, you have $1,000, another person have $1,000. If we have 7 people, we have $7,000 that we can put on a project. Versus if I had 1,000, I have to wait another however long to get that 7,000 to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So I want people, if you're listening to this, find people that are like-minded. Don't try to be the smartest person in the room. Sit down, come with a plan, and then execute that plan intentional. You have to have some intentional action. When Michael Jordan wanted to be the best, everybody during this COVID watched Michael Jordan Last Dance. He was intentional when he came and he said, I want to be the leader of the team. He didn't just say, well, I'm just going to go and bully my way and take it. He says, I have to let everybody know that I'm the best player.
Yeah.
So that goal, the Florida goal, drove him to say, hey, I have to work on my game. Everything that's weak right now, I have to make it stronger so that other people will recognize that I could be that leader on the team.
Yeah.
Everybody right now, if you're listening to this, you need to grab that person that's always been talking to you about, let's get financial. Now is not a time to only think about leisure stuff. I get it. Me and Rick, I like playing basketball. Sometimes a little too much, right? And I don't care if I'm hurt, I'm playing basketball. But there's a time and place for everything. And I think this time right now, we got to start being very intentional about what we're doing in order to get to that journey.
Yeah.
On the journey and get to the destination.
Yeah. You said something key, man. And I mean, a lot you said was key, but one thing that really resonated with me.
I didn't have a screen to flip, so I had to say
Oh man. I tell you, man, new episodes are gonna be crazy, man. When we launch the new season.
You're gonna task me over here to start working on my technology skills, you know what I'm saying? Screens and putting up videos and
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's one thing that I wanted to make sure I say, to our travelers is, and to resonate with what Marlon said, is just finding people that are willing to work with you, willing to grow with you, that are not in it for the selfish reason of trying to build just themselves alone. And even with that there's a little thing to that as well, because if you're really good at a leader and pulling people together, everyone can win, So it don't think because someone may have a different agenda and may not be completely like yours that you can't work with them, because bringing both of your agendas together can make a larger impact if everyone is satisfied. That's how a lot of corporations do it with partnerships. All right, so don't be shy to do that or think of anyone any differently because they have a different outtake of where they want to take things. But you got to make sure the core of all of it is that the people that you are with, that they believe in you, yes. And you believe in them. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think we share this, but before with our podcast, like none of this stuff would be happening if Marlon believed that I can do some editing stuff.
I believed it because I know I couldn't.
Yeah, it was like, Rick, you think we can do it? I was like, yeah, we can do it. So what do we need to do it? And we're like, yo, we probably need to get a better system. We probably need to, and Marlon was like, yo, all right, well, I believe that you can do it, man. And if I was sitting there, I mean, we probably were trying to fumble around with it, but if we didn't know where we were going with the thing, it would have been a lot harder to say, hey.
Just talk about the computer, Rick. That was funny. Hey, go to Best Buy. Rick and I go to Best Buy, and we don't know anything about. So we did a show with Tito Ortiz, and the guy shot it. He shot it in 8K.
Yeah.
So Ricky has an Apple laptop. I'm like, to me, an Apple laptop can do whatever you want. So we go, and we cannot get this thing to edit. Nothing's working. It's not playing. We're like, oh my goodness. So Ricky and I, we go to Best Buy, and we're like, you know what? Let's get a gaming computer. Now, we're not big gamers, right? But we know a gaming computer. We see those guys that sit down and they're doing whatever.
Yeah.
So we're like, the guy starts telling us some specs and all these stuff, and we're like this, bro, all we want to do is edit videos.
Yeah. We're in the games, man. We just want to edit, man. Give us a cool keyboard and everything. We're like, we don't want that. No,
and to us, purchasing a gaming computer, the money to purchase a computer, we're like, damn. But we had to get it in order to do what we had to do, right? And it worked wonders.
Listen, I mean, I was sitting down the other day. I was like, wow, there's a lot of things I've been able to do by just that over it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I was able to do, a lot of impact that I've been able to do all over the place by Marlon and I saying, hey, we need to make an upgrade. We need to do this thing. And really believing like, yo, we can do this. And that's what I mean by being able to partner with people that see the value in each other, as you're growing, as you're building, because, you don't know what kind of impact you're going to make in the future. But if you don't have people that believe in you, and people are not going to believe in you unless you've been showing that you can do something.
Correct.
Show what you can do with the little that you have, and then get people to believe in that, and then boom, from there, you can go over there. Don't go out and tell you haven't done nothing. And go, oh man, well, if I would have had this, I would be able to do this. I would have that. Man, let me tell you something, man. I wish I had that photo ready, because I would have showed you guys, what. Let me see if I can get it. What? We get it right here. Oh my goodness, I can get it fast enough. I probably won't get it fast enough, but I can't get it fast enough. But anyways, if I could show you what my desk setup was a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days, versus what it is now, people are like, yo, man, how you work in those conditions? But what I was producing in those conditions, people would have never known.
Never known.
Never known that's what I was working with.
Your office / my room when I was over there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's man, I tell you, man, people, like, let's really take this time right now to see where your strengths are, what you can do to help impact the world that's around you. I seriously mean impact the world that's around you. What is in your hands, right? And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and I hope people don't take offense to it, but I'm going to say it. No matter what race you are, people are not just going to, it's going to be very few times that people are just going to give you something just for the fact of giving it to you.
Correct. Everything has a cost.
Everything has a cost. And you want, and yes, you may have to show yourself even more valuable. If that's the cost, you got to pay the cost, to put yourself in a position. It's not just about you putting yourself in a position. It's so that your children can be in a better position after you. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about the ones coming behind you. And that's the mindset I love with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these guys that have really pioneered the way. It wasn't necessarily about them.
Correct.
It was about what I can do to help those that are coming behind me so that it's a better world for them. And you see how we raise them and just raise them up as in the pinnacle of like, yo, these are people who are pioneers. Not because it was like, yo, I got this huge house, I got all these cars, I'm traveling all over here, I visited this, I visited that, I bought this, I bought that, come check me out. You're using none of that from any of them.
Nope.
And guess what? We're still talking about them today.
Yeah, correct.
Because of the impact they made in the world. So what impact are you going to be making in the world? What sacrifices are you going to be willing to make right now so that the next generation can be in a better place?
Yeah, man. Rick, I'm just, coming back to, it was always, just like we said when we first started, us living in New York, splitting up, going to different parts of the world, getting all of our experience, coming back at this time, it was meant to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And then everybody come with their skills that they had, and you learned some skills, because if we probably were together, we'd probably only learn the same skills together.
We'd have been doing music still, or the same skills, or the same schools. Yeah, you're right.
We just had the same skills, and because we'd be mirroring each other or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm an engineer, but that math. Anyway, but we went and got a different experience, and now we come together. We have the same goal, and we have all the different tools, and now we're putting those tools together to able to accomplish and get to that end state. And that's what I love about working with you, is that I don't have there's some things that I just know I'm not good at, and I'm learning a lot more through you. And I just suck it up through. I'm just like, oh man, Ricky, wow. Like when I see you do that editing stuff, I'm gonna tell you straight up. When I see you do that editing stuff, I'm like, thank God I came. Because if I was supposed to do that myself, man, you could have saw like I'd have did some paper mache stuff.
Yeah, man. No, likewise, man. It's that's what makes a great team, man. Each person coming in, complimenting the other, and then growing. This year, I have grown over the last couple of years. I've grown even more in just being surrounded with people that are of like mind, that have that desire and that drive, to want to do better, and that's what we're just saying to everyone here, man. Find that person, find those people, find that tribe, find that whatever you want to call it, and man, you guys just get to work, roll your sleeves up, get to work, and that's what's going to make this world a better place. It's out there. So
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And the season, Rick.
Yeah.
We had some great guests from the first black female coach in the NFL to let me see.
I got you. Yeah. I got you here. I got you. I'm gonna.
Yeah, Ricky, you see that? He's on it. I just try to go. Hey guys, I promise you next season I'm gonna be stepping up. Rick is gonna be like, what? I'm gonna be spinning stuff around, passing it up. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna outdo me like that, man.
Oh man, yeah. So go ahead. So we had when did we start this season? Oh man.
Look at that. Oh, we had Michael Williams. Oh man, we had a lot of people. Look at that. Look what Rick is doing. And guys, if you don't know, this is our website, The Success Journey Show. You could go on this website, and what Rick is doing right now, you could pan through, you press on each, you click on each, you click on each individual thumbnail, and you can actually get a little bit about the person. We had the honeypot. That right there was a very enlightening interview, from the sense of somebody having your product in a store.
Yeah.
And how you have to navigate through to get that. That was a very, very great. Below her is the first Black NFL coach.
Yeah.
She's at the Washington Redskins. Below her, and guys want to know that our show, it's a rainbow. We have all these different right here. This lady right here, business sense, because she went through the first, when we went through that depression, or we could call it depression, because we lost everything, subprime and everything like that. Business up. So
I got to give her a shout out. This is my business coach right here, man. After that session, we got together, and she really helped me shape a lot of things, business wise, personal wise. So if you guys are looking for a coach, business coach, definitely Annette Walter. I can give you her information. Phenomenal is I evolve, man. It's a phenomenal service that she offers, and just wanting to help people grow, man. I mean, we have so much stuff, like Marlon was saying, the whole COVID experience that we captured to, just people pursuing their passion.
That police officer, we want to highlight him.
Yeah.
I watch him on Instagram. That guy right there, and you see, he's not. That's one of the guys that you say that's a police officer. I don't know him like a buddy, like how Ricky knows him, but from watching his page and Ricky, explaining where he's coming from, you could know that these are the kind of guys that's making a difference, that when he's going through the neighborhood and he's patrolling, or he's taking care of the school, or whatever the situation that he's doing right now, and he's motivational speaking, he speaks to kids and stuff like that. And he's one of the guys that you say, okay, yep. It puts your faith back to say, okay, there's guys out there that's actually doing the right things.
Absolutely. So yeah, guys, I mean, we have a lot, man. We've done a lot. This is episode 77 or 78. Listen, man, we're moving, and we're not planning on stopping, And 76 we're on this week. And listen, man, if you have people have been reaching out to us to do interviews, which has been great. Keep reaching out, man. We want to capture as many stories as we can. One area that we're going to move into is really capturing a lot of small businesses as well, and just seeing how they're growing and different ways that we can develop support for them. So yeah, guys, listen, this has been a great season, man. This has been an amazing journey that not only we've gone through, but we're capturing moments in life that is forever going to be captured, forever, can go back and reference forever, and Marlon and I are glad to be a part of this experience with you as you're going through your journey in life. And we will see you. Listen, we're going to keep posting. We're going to post up some old episodes, get everyone go back and listen to a few that were really stood out. But we will be back with our season number 4. Season 4, bro. Season 4 of the Success Journey Show. So guys, man, until next time, man, we pray that everyone stays well, stays safe, and then on the other side of this new normal that we will all be facing, man, that you guys can keep winning. So that's it. That's our show for today, and we'll see you guys next time on the Success Journey Show. So everyone, have a good one. Peace.
One love.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.